Welcome to part 2. There is so much more to do. First stop, we're going to go see waterfalls. And when I was in Costa Rica in the rainforest, I went there literally in order to see waterfalls. If you saw my Iceland videos, that was chasing waterfalls. And now we're in the Scottish waterfalls. That's the worst accent I've ever done. Now I'm editing that out. Zach, you look a little bit different to earlier.
Lately I've been so frustrated of being alone.
Oh yeah.
All my friends are in brand new places, meeting all these new faces. I'm on my own.
Wow, all the way down. Looks like there's parsnips just stuck on the inside of the tree. Yes. Oh yes. Yep. Let's get closer.
I'd rather drive along the coast a couple hours up the state, and maybe I can meet a boy who gets that I can concentrate. Oh, cause
Look at this little stone I found. Perfectly formed. Smooth as you like. Probably in thousands of years of being in this waterfall.
It's my life, and you can call me crazy, kinda lazy, but I do what I like. It's my life.
There's all the boys up there. That was quite gnarly. It was quite difficult getting back. Slipped and hurt my legs a bit, but it was worth it. Try that one again, Chris, and let's see if I heard it right.
So I've heard the first bit of landmass to emerge on planet Earth is here, Craig Menny in the Cairngorm National Park.
Craig Menny in the Cairngorm National Park apparently is the first piece of planet Earth to emerge from the sea. I did mash in my shins a bit doing that jump across the river, but there's a few war wounds that are worth it.
Gonna keep spinning no matter what clothes I wear.
We are gonna go see this beach, the biggest inland beach in the UK. That's what I'm talking about, is a little social hut with some other ones around it, a proper log cabin hut.
I'm over all these different people telling me the
Hey, you've got everything. You got it all here. Ah, beach volleyball, anyone? And it's so quiet as well.
Cause I'm not thinking about it too much, cause I know I like what I like. It's my life. You can call me crazy, kinda lazy, but I do what I like. It's my life.
I've realised we've actually got a nice little set of things we can give people when they're opening a base. We've got the logos, we've got the handbook, we've got the film, the bracket design that so they can print their own brackets. We've got the UCL lecture which makes clear the underpinning philosophy. It's like when you put it all together you realise, oh, we have actually done quite a lot of different work. It's just been so different, all the stuff we've done. The other thing I've been reflecting on is how different it is being here versus being over in Spain, and probably how different it will be in going over to the castle in France as well, because these guys are so established. It's such an amazing place where they've got 16 bedrooms and they run a very successful business and they're in their 40s with kids. It's very different to where Virginia's at or where I'm at, where she's right at the beginning of her journey, just developing her art in a completely different space. But I actually think that that is where we get strength through diversity, because by being able to share those stories and share that knowledge, we can help each other, bring fresh blood to more established places, create mentoring and role models as such for those that are starting new bases. Obviously each time you go somewhere different, it extends the map of what you think Corco is. But actually I can see that the values of creativity in nature, getting to a sense of being, working with the land and making space to be still and silent can be done in so many different ways. Apparently, we might have a podcast. Hang on. Around the Open Fire. Oh, there we go. Around the Open Fire with Dave Erasmus. Society and culture. Join Dave Erasmus for a chat around the open fire. Each episode, Dave will be joined by a variety of local and international guests, sharing their perspectives around the crackle of an open fire, part of Corcovado version 2. We got a podcast, guys. Or maybe not. Oh no, here we go. Yes. Whoever you are, wherever on earth you are from, welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, well done, Josh, mate. Done a great job. It's a bit of an experiment doing the old podcast. Please do give your feedback, and most of all, please do get involved. We want to hear your stories. Josh@corcovar.do. We can call you in, Skype you in, do whatever you want. We want to hear your stories from all the places that we don't normally go and don't normally highlight. I want to know what your lives are like, what you love, what you hate, what needs to change, and how you deal with life and death and everything in between. If you do believe in the project and the idea, please go on there and whack a good 5 out of 5, because you know it's going to be good stuff. It'll be interesting to see how high we can get this on the ratings. It'd be amazing if we could get small voices from around the world to get to the top of the podcast charts. I really appreciate it. Oh, yes.
It's where we keep all the dried botanicals we pick.
This is a mad scientist's laboratory, sir. So you were saying that the winter's a tough time, really, for foraging?
Yeah, there's stuff, but it's not as plentiful as summer and autumn.
If we can make it work in winter, then there's something redemptive about that, because the winter's not dead, is it? I mean, it's just, you just have to be elite on finding the right stuff.
Yeah, there's less, but there's still some really good stuff.
Exactly.
So today there's some really good pine we're going to find, some birch bits and pieces, some yarrow, some geranium. This is a trial still, so it holds 2 litres.
Right.
And it's a completely scalable version of a big alembic still, like a traditional whiskey still.
So we're going to go out and grab some stuff? Let's do it. Blue sky and snow on the ground, what more could you want?
When you see them coming through the end, you can just pick them and eat them.
If they're a bit light and yellow?
And more vitamin C than oranges, so it holds off scurvy. Yeah, just kind of 4-inch strips.
It's quite a nice feeling, actually. There we go. Is that enough? Or do we need more?
That's plenty. Sweet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, just after you stripped it, I guess it releases all the good stuff. You were saying we can even just whack that straight in hot water and make a pine tea?
Yeah, just a cup of hot water and stir it in and leave it for a minute or 2 and it's delicious.
If there's one thing I've got in the woods, it's pine needles. I've got plenty of those. So this is dried heather.
This feeling isn't new, falling way into you. I do it every time you come over, pretend it's cool, but something's gotta change this time.
So Chris and I have been having a little chin wag about how could we find a little bit of a Corco V1 type vibe, like single solitary hut, outpost kind of thing up here in Scotland. Like if people wanted to get away into the proper wild, what could they do? And we're kind of thinking that this could be a good little spot for a shepherd's hut.
It's got the view.
For creatives, there's something about being on the very edge of civilization. Civilization is that way, the wild and yonder is that way, and I think that's where the inspiration comes, you know. If we did it using the brackets that we've been designing, then that means if we ever found a better spot for the hut, or we wanted to repurpose it in any way, we could just wheel it away.
Insulation is key.
Yeah.
And then you can make it look pretty on the outside. You can clad it nicely and it could look log cabin-esque.
Yeah.
It would be practical and movable.
Sounds about right, doesn't it? For Corcovado co-creators, we might be able to come up here, get a few days of breath, of fresh air and silence.
Beautiful views this way and that way, onto the hills.
Yeah.
Then a bit of a porch and a bit of a balcony.
Oh.
Steps onto the river.
And then when people are here, they'll kind of be off to themselves on their own little wild adventure. But if they wanted to get more involved in Strathmashie, they want to do some gin tasting or wanted to help out in the botanical gardens, then maybe they could get involved in that as well.
We're planting stuff, but then there's foraging as well, so we've got so much stuff to collect over the spring, over the summer, over the autumn. All the bog myrtle, all the heather.
Wow.
So yeah, more than there. Yeah.
Brilliant. It would be a crime not to open this little spot up for more people to enjoy it and create from this place, so I think it would probably be good for the world.
You could put a Strathmassey handbook together that shows you the Pictish forts and the Bothy and all the places to explore.
Yeah.
And then you can come and join the fun over here, or you can just take off and explore.
Cheers.
Cheers. This is it, yeah, this is a geranium leaf. And they've got a zingy, zesty, citrusy smell.
Let's have a go.
So if you scrunch it up between your fingers to release all the oils in the skin, the zinginess of the geranium with the freshness of the pine.
Zingy geranium, freshness pine.
Yeah.
Boom shakalaka, it's our winter gin.
So here we go again. We say we're only friends. We're way too scared of making us impossible to mend. 'Cause what if we change our minds?
Even this is good for making a tea.
Yeah, lichen tea. The fave of the Inuits.
Oh, yeah, I can smell it. It smells good. Do you reckon it's the same lichen on my apple tree?
I think there's about 300 different types of lichen.
Oh, wow.
So it might be.
Now you're just taking trees. You reckon we can actually use the bark on this pine?
You can use the bark on the pine, and Scots pine in particular is delicious.
You're just saying things now because you know that's all I got.
This is true. If you take the bark and you dry it by a fire, and then you pulverise it, it makes flour, and you can make bread.
No, I can't.
You can.
Josh, this one's direct for you, mate. By the time I get back, we need some of that bark dried out. It's going to be hammer time on the bread. But pulverise it, you must. Like, it must be a proper...
Yes, you get it really, really dry, and then you break it up almost into dust, and then make your baguette.
Does it need to be like proper, like legendary old school Scots pines like this, or could it be my young guns?
Any Scots pine, that's all. Any Scots pine where you can get a good bit of bark off, dry it out really well, pulverise it, and then make some croissant.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Mate, my Scots pines are taking on a whole new life for me now. Just as a side note, it's interesting how I'm in Scotland, I'm not at Brenda's, I'm somewhere else, yet the knowledge you're giving me can go right back into where I live. And so there is something about this knowledge sharing of the network that I'm already benefiting from right now, so I appreciate it.
Tell me what you want from me.
Right, we're back in the laboratoire. We got our pine.
Geranium.
Smells like Christmas, basically.
Heartful gin. Some of our very special juniper. Cheers.
Juniper berries. So we're going to mash this up.
Yeah.
We're going to Strathmassey this up, and then we're going to leave it for later.
Yep.
I'm excited.
This is a flavour wheel, and you can decide how much of all the different elements you want.
Okay. I'm thinking woody and spicy because that's where we are, but historically I have enjoyed some of the gins that are more floral.
So floral is definitely going to come from the geranium.
Okay.
Picked up.
Oh, good.
With Daffy's we get a lot of our piney notes from juniper. What do we call it? Dave's Winter Gin?
I don't know about Dave's.
Brenda's?
Brenda's Winter Gin. Yeah, go on, put Brenda's Winter Gin.
You've been acting kinda off with me.
The thing is, when you walk past all this stuff in nature, you don't think that all the smell's there. It's only when you start working with it that it all releases. Mate, the smell is unbelievable.
Yeah.
There she blows.
Oh,
that is beautiful.
Okay.
That is beautiful.
That's not the average juniper though.
Isn't it?
No, it's really beautiful, intense juniper.
So did you wanna go back there?
I don't think I've ever pulverised something before. I only ever met... Oh, wow, that pine sound's coming up. So to finish off step one, we're going to put all of these into the base spirit. This is like 80% you're saying at this point.
Yeah, that's 80% wheat.
In the Highlands, the trees were once used as dramatic markers for the burial places of warriors, heroes and chieftains. Druids used to light large bonfires of Scots pine at the winter solstice to celebrate the passing of the seasons and draw back the sun. It is meant to be a winter gin, mate.
Nailed.
To treat colds, chills, inhale the steam from an infusion 3 or 4 times a day. Very cool. Looks pretty cryptic. But now for the final part of the process. It's a moment of truth. Oh, it's potent. Oh, yeah. That is a winter warmer right now. Wow. Wow, that's powerful.
You've definitely got the woodiness coming through, but you got the freshness of the pine, and you got some zing as well from the geranium.
You're battling inside, I read it in your eyes. You think that you...
Boom.
You swirl it like a wine glass, all the vapours get channeled into a more concentrated opening at the neck, and then when you smell,
I see,
you smell everything that it has to give. So, this capacity.
Oh, sorry, I'm pouring it everywhere.
Don't need anybody else but you.
That way.
Did you wanna go back
There we go.
Did you wanna stay
it's happening.
with me? We can take it or leave it.
It's on.
Always wonder how wondrous it could be.
So ethanol's boiling point is 78.4.
Yeah.
And so when we get up to 80 on here, we'll start see it coming through here. This reminds me of a much more elegant, much more refined version of my experimental kettle that I have in the hut in V1. So this, although it looks like a thermometer, it's actually a hydrometer.
This one specifically, it measures the gravity of water, which gives you the volume of alcohol.
Oh baby, here we go. It's begun. Yeah, 80, 78.
78.4. Dave, you've done well.
Ah, yes!
Here we go.
Yeah?
So dip it on your hand, the back of your hand.
Okay.
Yeah. Rub it against your top lip and take a good sniff in.
Oh yeah. Oh, that tastes like gin. Oh, that's a winter hug. That's a winter hug right now. I've got the pine coming through strong.
Is it Bernie? Is it
Pretty burny. That is a woodland
in a glass?
gin. A woodland in a glass.
You can dilute it to bottling strength and you have your gin.
So we've done 3 tastings at various different strengths at the head, and now we're in the heart of it, aren't we?
We are.
And we're going to take that and we're going to make some G's and T's and then bottle up the rest and send it back to Brenda's. Boom. 10 minutes later.
So they sound like this.
Oh, best sound I've heard all day. Does anybody else want to try it? Do you want to try it, Roy?
I'd love a wee note, but after you, David.
Brenda's Winter Gin, we called it. That is good.
Yeah.
That's a really piney, but really nice piney gin.
We're at a crossroads, and neither of us know where we're supposed to go now from here. We can take it.
The beast from the east has been obliterating England and all sorts of closures and stuff, and the snow's coming down now, so I think we need to get on the road even though the flight is later. But it is Thursday today, and this video is going out tonight, and I've got almost 3 hours of content that I've got to somehow get down into what will probably end up being my longest video ever. So might be in 2 parts, might be in 1 part. You'll know by now because you're watching it. I can't thank Chris and Minnie enough for having us these last few days. It's been an absolute delight. You guys are incredible hosts and great teachers. I've learned a lot this week. This week is really sort of making the network real to me, and now that we've been at House of Isidro here at Daffy's, I've no idea what to expect next month when we go to the castle, but every time we go out and see somewhere different and build those relationships around the place, it feels like this network's becoming more real rather than just an idea in my head, and it feels good. I've got to crack on with this edit. And if you haven't seen Zach's films that he's been making, go check them out. They're like mini movies and I love them. Alright guys, I will see you next Thursday, 9 PM. Take care of yourselves, especially in this cold if you're in it, and look after each other.